Hello, everyone. We'll get started as it's 12 o'clock. It's great to see you all, as always. I'm Demi Mohammed. I'm the program assistant at the Freer Gallery of Art, and we thank you for joining us today for our art-based meditation session brought to you by the National Museum of Asian Art. Today's meditation will be led by Aparna, and we'll continue on our theme of plum blossoms as we focus on a lacquered dish from China that is unique as it is shaped with 5 petals to resemble a plum blossom. Our dish is dated from the late 14th century during the Ming Dynasty and features a picturesque image that was speculated as being popular during the early part of the Ming Dynasty, as the bowl may have been a gift to a respected member of the scholarly civil service. Again, we thank you for your joining us, and I'll pass it to Aparna to get us started.
Thank you so much, Demi. Namaste, everybody. Good afternoon. Happy Friday. And I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful last day of this last working day of this week. And thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us and choosing to share your time and meditation practice with us. As Demi rightly shared, our practice today will be inspired by a lacquered dish from 14th century China that is shaped like a plum blossom. If you remember, last Friday, our meditation was inspired by a scroll with a painting of a tree which was laden with lots and lots of plum blossoms. And today, the shape of this object, that is our art inspiration, is a continuing thread from the past week. And as I share more about it, a very calm and serene picture. It's almost as if last week, we meditated to plum blossoms as a symbol of hardiness and adaptability, of being able to blossom in the harshest of winter. And it's almost like this dish today is taking us into what could be a possible source of that resilience. So towards this theme, we'll get our practice started. So our practice today will, of course, include closely looking at this dish because there are so many very beautiful and intricate details that we could look at. And then there is this beautiful scenery with, again, a lot of details. So there'll be a lot of close looking. So please do make sure that your device screens are adjusted. So looking at the object is as easy as closing and opening your eyes. And after that, we will also go into a practice of mindfulness. So the larger part of our meditation will be focused on mindfulness-based practices. And I just saw in the chat, thank you for sharing that, Andrea. Greetings to you as well. And how lovely that you can actually practice to this work of art with an actual plum tree blossoming outside your window. All right, everybody, let's find a way of sitting comfortably. If you feel like you could prop your back with a pillow, it's always nice to have a sense of support, whether it's the feet touching the floor, the sits bones touching the pillow or the couch, the back pressing against something soft yet firm. And feel free to drop your eyelids. Take a few breaths just with your eyes closed. There's going to be a lot of close looking, like I said before. It might be a good idea to give these eyes a visual break. Just observing the sensations here. Sometimes you might notice sensations around the eyebrows, the center of the forehead, the right and left half of the forehead, the right and the left temples, noticing any sensations around the cheeks, the cheekbones, sensations around the nose, sensations in the jawline, the chin, the lips, and the ears and the rest of the head. Let's take a few breaths, holding our awareness to the head, noticing the shape, the contours of the face. It helps us become aware of the volume inside the head. And each time we inhale, can we perceive the space stretching very gently? We're softening all of the tissues here. So with each exhale, whatever tension could go away, we can release that. We're breathing in energy, breathing out, letting go whatever needs to go. Slowly allow your attention to descend down into the neck. And at this point, you may keep your eyes open, like with the gaze lowered. Bring your awareness to the neck, the volume enclosed by the neck. The shoulders, noticing sensations along the shoulders, sensations along the upper arms, elbows and forearms, sensations along the wrists and hands, then all of the sensations along your arms. Noticing the inner volume in the arms. And then letting the arms be gently, let's bring awareness to the chest and the upper back. The abdomen, the lower back, the hips. The hips are the pelvis. And then let's bring awareness to the entire torso, shoulders to pelvic floor, left to right, front to back. All of the three dimensions of the torso. Notice the volume enclosed by the torso. And now the entire upper half of the body, from the head to the hips, and let the upper body be. Gently guide your awareness down to the thighs and the seat, observing sensations there. Sensations in the knees and the shins in the calves. Sensations in the ankles, heels, the entire right and the left feet. And then let's bring awareness to the sensations in the entire right and left legs all together. Then observing the shape, the inner volume containing those sensations in the legs. And then can we bring awareness to the entire body? Noticing all of the sensations in the entire body, the space contained within this body, the field of consciousness. So even this mere presence of the body becomes charged with the energy of consciousness. The body no longer is just another physical entity, but an embodiment of the light of life. And softening into this living, loving presence that we embody just by virtue of being where we are, as we are. Let's also notice this presence taking up space in the room or wherever we're practicing. And then we'll slowly open our eyes. Let's allow our eyes to take in the shape, the outline of this dish. Shape in the form of a plum blossom, a 5-petaled plum blossom. And we can see 2 concentric blossoms. And in the rim of this dish, as we zoom in, the rim of the dish, let's start from the outermost rim, which is really delicate patterning of leaves and probably flowers or stars. A repetitive motif that lines the outermost peripheral surface of this dish. Sometimes, as we move our gaze through this outline, our observation might be interrupted by those cracks. Then we have a choice to come back and savor the beauty, the periodicity, like a rhythm that is quietly humming in nature. Then, for a moment, looking away from the screen or closing the eyes, can we bring awareness to the rhythm of our own breath? Just like life pulsating through the plants and trees, the breath pulsating as life in this body. And then opening the eyes, we may now bring our awareness to the inner ring, where this rhythm of life, the cyclical nature of things in the natural world, is represented by leaves and flowers of different kinds. Take some time to observe each flower. Some of us might recognize what these flowers are, and some of us may not, but all of us have the opportunity to appreciate the beauty of these flowers. And then as we slowly move our awareness inwards, we're invited to this very calming scenery. We see a person seated in front of a water body, perhaps a pond. We see that this space is surrounded by trees, at least three distinct trees. And wavy lines denoting calm movement, the waves rippling through the water very gently. We also find here an onlooker, perhaps looking at this person who's seated and gazing at the water and the waterfowls, maybe gazing at something else. Then, right below the feet of these two people, we see a beautifully tiled floor. And then shapes at this lower left corner of the picture. Also find what looks like rocks, but it also could look like frothing water, like sea waves crashing against something, somewhat reminding us of a hokusai. You see them here. We also see them on this side, on the right side of the dish. So now let's spend a few more moments just quietly gazing at the scene. And whenever you feel like, try to start visualizing the scene in your mind. In your mind's picture, if you are missing some details, you can always open your eyes, look at the scene again, and then fill up those spaces in your imagination. Notice how, as you slowly complete the picture in your mind, the separation between you, the observer, and this dish, the object of your observation, is slowly being dissolved. So this dish and the scenery are now a part of your consciousness. Go on to further connect with the scenery. Imagine the person sitting is you. If you wish to, you can also visualize that where you are surrounded by the scenery. Like you're seated in a garden with a pond. Just take a moment to check in and see which of the elements in the scenery naturally are drawing your attention to them. It could be the trees, it could be the waves, the birds, anything. And then opening your eyes, look at that particular element in this picture. Just gaze at it quietly. Let thoughts come to you. take a moment to think about what are the qualities that you're awakened to, or what words come to your mind when you look at this particular element in that entire scene. How do we see its qualities reflected within ourselves? It could be in the physical body, it could be in the mind, emotions, feelings. And take a moment to shift your attention to something else in this image. And for a moment, check in with yourself. Where do you see the qualities of this second element embodied within yourself? And slowly in this way, we could allow our awareness to reach out to each and every element and let that element speak to us, inspire us from a place of intuition. But slowly closing our awareness, slowly coming out of that scene, come back to where we are, where the body is physically present right here, right now. And then we'll go on to the exterior, the outline of this dish, the shape of plum blossom. Pick any one petal. Let this petal remind us of the quality of ease. How may we embody ease within ourselves? We don't feel the burden of doing what we are. All feels like a flow. Gently move your attention to the second petal adjacent to this first one. And this petal represents gratitude, one that comes with an awareness of ease, knowing that we are supported. Slowly, let's move our attention to the third petal. In this petal, let it represent love. That is the foundation for all of these forces supporting us. As we experience this love and kindness from the universe, may we remember that we are all connected. That the fourth petal represents that connection. From the sense of community, let there be harmony represented by the fifth petal of this plum blossom. Slowly experiencing all of these qualities right here in the center of the chest where the heart is. Ease, gratitude, love, connection, and harmony. If you attune that oneness that binds us all, despite the diversity. In awareness of this connection, maybe join palms in prayer, bow to the light within, maybe bow to the light of all the teachings of yoga and the teachers through whom we receive them. Maybe bow to the creative energy of the artist or artists that has inspired us through this dish. And finally, maybe bow to that oneness that may not necessarily be sameness. Maybe close with the following prayer, first in Sanskrit and then in English. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve santu niramayaha. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. May all beings be well and experience ease. May all beings be disease-free. May all beings see the light behind life. May we all be free from suffering. Peace be to all. Peace be to all. Peace be to all. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you so much for choosing to share your presence and practice with me. I hope this practice was useful to you. I hope this entire meditation offering allowed you to know mindfulness if you are new to it. And if you're already a practitioner of mindfulness, I hope this allowed you to realize it in your own experience and the different options that were offered through this meditation.